Listen,
do this.
He's the sergeant.
He's violating my rights.
He is not.
Come
You
here, have a
didn't
seat. We're gonna give you
identify
a ticket when we
yourself.
send you on your way. You have a valid driver's license?
Yeah, I do. You violate my rights, man.
You guys got a
Mr.
lawsuit
Kern,
coming.
just hang on. Just
You got a lawsuit coming.
Listen, let me explain to you. You don't get out of the car yet. So I told him, I said, sir, just stand there. Let me talk to him. I'll come talk to you. And he did. But then he's continuous, because that happened, I called for backup.
A tense encounter in Cleveland Heights. On September 22nd, 2022 in Cleveland Heights, Officer Lewis stopped a Silver Infiniti for expired tags. However, instead of acting professionally, she nearly caused a serious collision with another driver, Mr. Kern. Mr. Kern's reaction? Frustrated by her reckless driving, Mr. Kern pulled over to address the issue. Despite waiting on the sidewalk as required by law, Officer Lewis approached him with hostility, accusing him of failing to yield to her lights and sirens. What's alarming? Her story kept changing, unnecessarily escalating the situation and leading to an unjustified call for backup. The big question, is this the professionalism we should expect from law enforcement? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation.
Hey, 1
second.
81, go ahead.
81 radio, stand by. It's going to be on Mayfield, across from the first access road. Send me another unit because another party does not know how to yield to lights and sirens, and he's sitting here recording me. Stand there, I almost ran him off the road. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Officer Lewis with Cleveland Heights. The reason I'm for the traffic stop is the plates on the vehicle are expired. It's not even a big deal. Do you know that guy behind me in the Porsche?
I was trying to hurry up and move over.
You're good. No, you're good. You did the right thing. I put my lights out and sirens. He did not move over. All good. And I'll give you the plate to the other vehicle that's out with the confrontation. I apologize.
You almost ran me off the road.
I initiated my lights and sirens.
I didn't hear anything.
What, was your music on? Because I had the lights and sirens on, sir.
Yes, sir.
You apologize.
I apologize.
You're wrong.
He stopped abruptly. Okay, I'm not wrong. The lights and sirens were activated.
You ran me
Okay,
off the road
I did not
almost.
do that, sir. The lights and sirens on my
what are you apologizing
marked
for?
patrol
Victor George,
because he stopped
545.
abruptly, causing me to stop
And I almost
abruptly,
caused an
causing
accident.
you to stop abruptly.
Right.
And I apologize for that. However, the lights and sirens were on. Okay, the police vehicle is marked. You can clearly see it's a marked
You're an
patrol
expert, man.
vehicle. I initiated lights and
I don't
sirens.
wanna argue with
I'm
you.
not going to
And
argue, and I'm telling you I do. I'm going to tell you I do apologize that he did stop
But I'm
abruptly.
gonna tell you the disconnect.
Nobody was wrong.
I'm going to tell you the disconnect, right? So between the public and you as a public servant,
Reader, does that driver check okay?
if it's something wrong and you actually
Yeah.
did it, all you say, my bad.
And I did. I just
and
said,
keep going.
I
Instead
said
of
my
saying-
bad. I said I activated I initiated a traffic stop in a marked vehicle with lights and sirens.
Right.
If you didn't hear the sirens or see the lights,
I mean, you called back up to your tape.
well, I called back up because somebody is getting out of a cop car. Sir,
This the disconnect, man.
sir, I'm sorry.
Let him finish your business, and then we can sit down and talk.
We're good. I'm going to let him go.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. What was your last name?
My last name?
Yeah.
Why you need my last name?
Because I'm asking who I'm talking to. You asked me who you were talking to.
You're not going to be under arrest because what you're doing
I'm not
is
going to be
illegal.
under arrest.
Listen.
What you're doing is illegal. I can charge you for interfering with
What,
the
just
traffic.
give me your last name.
Why?
Because I'm conducting business with you right
I'm
now.
not being detained. Or am I free?
You want to be.
10-4, that's
No,
not
that's
going
not how
to
it
be the
works.
driver.
What's your RS?
Stand by.
What's your reasonable articulate
Okay.
suspicion of my crime?
I'm going to get rid of him.
Hold on. I'll explain to you.
Alarming abuse of power in Ohio. In Cleveland Heights, where hundreds of daily interactions between police and citizens take place, a disturbing incident unfolded. According to Ohio Revised Code 2921.29, officers can only request identification when there is reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. In this case, Mr. Kern, who was completely uninvolved in any crime, exercised his legal right to refuse providing identification. What happened next? Officer Lewis and Sergeant Wolf ignored the law, relentlessly pressured Mr. Kern, and ultimately handcuffed him without justification. This escalated a situation that initially had no criminal grounds into unnecessary tension. What's your take on this? Is this justice being served or a blatant example of abuse of authority? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Listen, talk to me. Just do me a favor. All I'm asking you,
I'm a private citizen.
just take your hands out of your pocket while we're talking,
Right.
okay? I called for backup, all right?
Yeah.
I initiated a traffic stop. I understand you and I and that gentleman, we all just saw what happened, okay? I'm calling for another person because I'm dealing with one person who I don't know who I'm dealing with. And you get out. Listen, sir, let me speak. Let me explain to you. I call for another person because I have a man getting out of a car walking towards me. You know how society is. I know how society is. Now listen. I'm asking you to identify yourself so I can let my dispatcher know who I'm out with. If you don't identify yourself, that is obstruction. You are the one that came out.
Obstruction is a secondary crime. What crime did I commit?
There's no crime, but I'm identifying you. Okay.
Thank you.
I need your driver license.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to arrest you if you don't identify yourself.
She just said it was no crime.
It is
Listen.
a crime. Obstructing is a
What
crime.
Obstructing is a
You
crime.
have to identify yourself, guys.
She almost ran me off the road.
And then I still have to identify you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna call an into the car. You can arrest me.
Okay, turn around. Put that gun back.
Because I didn't do anything.
Okay, turn around.
I didn't do anything.
Listen, just all you have to do.
I don't have my ID with me.
Okay, what's your cell phone?
Your date of birth, that's all we asked for.
For what?
Because I need to let my dispatcher know. It's not a big deal.
But you almost ran me off the
And
road.
we just had an adult conversation.
So how am I obstructing?
Sir, just give me your social so we can let you.
She's getting a ticket for obstruction.
You just told me.
It doesn't matter, you're in
He's-
handcuffs now.
You don't break my wrist.
Sir,
I'm not resisting.
slow it down. Radio DS1 ready.
Okay, and we're dealing with it, but you can't just stop in the middle on someone's traffic stop.
I didn't stop at a traffic stop. I pulled over because I was almost at this pole.
Because you don't have your ID in your wallet.
288-84-9401. What's your last name, sir?
Kern, man.
Kern?
You know what happened. Why are you letting him do
Listen,
this?
he's the sergeant.
He's violating my rights.
He is not.
Come
You
here, have a
didn't
seat. We're going to give you
identify
a ticket when we
yourself.
send you on your way. You have valid driver's license?
Yeah, I do. You violate my rights, man.
Yeah, well, you're getting a ticket for interfering with the traffic.
How did I interfere? She almost ran me off the fucking road.
And you could have pulled off and waited and called.
I did wait when she said wait.
You were out here talking to her. Have a seat.
Mr. Kern, just
Don't
have...
push me, man.
Have a seat.
Why are you so full of machismo, man?
Dude, have a seat. I'm not putting up with your bullshit, okay? Have a seat.
What's wrong with you, man?
Have a
I'm
seat.
sitting down.
All the way in.
If he
He's going
checks...
for obstructing. Or he's getting a
You're
ticket
gonna...
for
I
obstructing.
don't...
Is he valid?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the radio to say. What? So this is what happened. That vehicle matched the description of the vehicle from Weird Shit yesterday.
Okay.
I saw it. I initiated a traffic stop.
Okay.
That person, instead of like pulling over, he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
And I'm getting behind him, but he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
This guy was very close to him,
Okay.
and we did almost did get into an accident
Okay.
because that driver stopped so
have your license
abruptly.
on?
I did. Yes.
Gets a ticket for
He.
there's no sense about this.
Okay.
He's getting a ticket for
Radio 1, if you need to read back on that, yes, I have
to an
it.
emergency vehicle.
Yes, I do. I do. That's why I provided
It
it.
was to a Demetrius Raphael Kern. It's a 37-year-old male. He's valid. That's one.
So he gets a ticket and then he can come to
It. Listen, I don't feel I need to give him a ticket for that. It. I'm
Well,
cool
then he
with
goes
just.
for obstructing.
Okay,
He's
I
getting
mean,
a
I'm
ticket
cool
for
with letting him go.
Like,
He
he
just,
can't.
I didn't understand.
He's in handcuffs.
And he's being
he
a jerk.
obstructed. He obstructed. He refused to identify himself. I'm not going to sit out here
Okay.
and argue with somebody for an hour the legalities of it. You can come to court.
Okay.
So he gets a ticket for obstructing failure to identify himself.
You guys got a
Mr. Kern, just hang on. Just
got a
have
lawsuit coming.
Listen, let me explain to you. You don't get out of the car yet. The sergeant wants me to give you a ticket for obstruction, okay? I'm not going to do anything else.
I didn't.
Listen, he's the boss. He is the boss.
I don't have to refuse if I didn't commit a crime. This isn't a stop and ID state.
At this point, it is a traffic stop because you're
You
out on a
almost ran me
traffic
off
stop.
the road.
Mr.
You
Kern,
know
we
it.
just had that conversation. I did not almost run you off the road.
That Tesla has cameras in it. So
Okay.
you guys are going to pay for this.
That's
An
fine.
outrageous incident in Cleveland Heights. On a tense evening in Cleveland Heights, a shocking event unfolded. Officer Lewis, with her inconsistent statements, turned a simple situation into a complex one. The key issue: Mr. Kern was unable to provide video evidence from his Tesla due to the recording feature being inactive. Although Officer Lewis admitted her mistake and tried to correct it, her supervisor, too arrogant to acknowledge their error, chose to proceed with the obstruction charge, citing that Mr. Kern was in handcuffs. The result? This action not only demonstrated abuse of authority, but also led to a second violation of Mr. Kern's rights. What's your take? Is this justice or just another example of systemic injustice? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation.
Mr. Kern, I apologize. I really do. And this is on body cam, alright? This is, the sergeant's telling me to do this, so...
Did I break the law?
When police have to identify you, you do have to identify
I
yourself.
broke the law. If I broke the law, I have to identify.
Mr. Kern, you got out of the vehicle in the middle of a traffic
I
stop.
almost got hit.
I understand that. And I needed to identify you.
This is going to be a heavy lawsuit. Cleveland Heights is going to pay me for this.
For what, sir?
Kidnapping, illegal detainment.
No one's
I'm
kidnapping
in the
you.
back of your car in handcuffs.
Okay,
I'm kidnapped.
this is not kidnapping. The sergeant placed you under arrest for obstruction.
How did I? You know, like I know, I didn't obstruct.
He asked for your information and you didn't give it to him.
Identify. It's private citizen.
Listen, there'll be a court date. You and I will both go to it. And our prosecutor's really good and we'll work through it, okay? Listen, I'm just doing what I'm told to do, alright? You and I will both contest or be in the courtroom. What do I put for this verbiage? When asked to identify himself, he refused.
So, just for my own. You activated your overhead.
So we're literally here, and I'm coming up because I saw that car. It looked like the car from yesterday's incident. I ran it. It's expired. I am in this lane. I put my lights on to activate. The guy, instead of like continuing, he like whips over, stops abruptly, and I'm like halfway in between both lanes, and this guy was right behind him. So it did almost cause an accident. Absolutely.
You didn't almost hit them.
No, I was trying to go behind. It would have been a sure clear distance accident. But because of how that guy stopped abruptly, it would have been.
And he stopped and just decided to get out of
Well, and he was pissed because we did almost get into an accident. He was.
You didn't almost hit him.
No, all of three of us, it would have been an accident. Yeah, I was going behind the other guy.
He could have gone down the street.
But the guy stopped abruptly, but he did. Then he got out and he's yelling. He's yelling while I'm initiating. Right. So I told him, I said, sir, just stand there. Let me talk to him. I'll come talk to you. And he did. But then he was continuous, because that happened, I called for backup. And then he was upset, rightfully so. It was not rightfully so. It was whatever. Why are they assholes? Was that necessary? But, yeah, I mean,
Well, either way, it's obstructing. Look, I'll ask you once, I'll ask you twice. After that.
How many times do you ask him?
At least 4 times.
Okay. Alright, well, his Tesla's got cameras too, so yay. I think that they do. You can take him out. I'm almost done. Mr. Kern, they're gonna check you out. I gotta give you a ticket and you're good to go. Are you gonna go down to the hospital?
I'm going to the hospital.
Okay, we're gonna have to tow your car. Alright, here's your property.
Hold on, let me get this right.
Sure.
Hey, what's pushing on my cups are these, man?
Some janky, rusty ass stuff. Do you want to sign or are you going to refuse? Alright, I'm going to give you a copy of it.
The distance between her car to show us reasonable space, my arm is hurting really bad. You can't do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, could you sign this real quick?
Mr. Kern, I got to give you your citation.
Alright, let me take these pictures.
Here's your copy. Mr. Kern. Mr. Kern, can you just take it? Because this is in lieu of not going to jail, and I'm trying not to do that.
You guys violated my rights. You know it.
Well, we'll all be in court.
Controversial
All right,
confrontation
you're
in
good to go.
Cleveland Heights. On a tense evening, Officer Lewis, despite apologizing for nearly causing an accident, along with her superior, Sergeant Wolf, escalated the situation unnecessarily. What happened? Mr. Kern, while handcuffed, was charged with obstruction, a charge that was clearly unfounded. Just 11 days later, the case was dismissed due to lack of evidence, a clear testament to the violation of Mr. Kern's rights. What's the shocking detail? Even though Officer Lewis apologized multiple times, she still followed her superior's misguided orders, highlighting a lack of decisiveness in upholding justice. What's the lesson here? Poor supervision doesn't just worsen situations, it erodes the community's trust in law enforcement. What do you think about this incident? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the
We'll
discussion.
all be in court. All right, you're good to go. Are you
Either way,
okay?
though, like, yeah, I know I'm not okay. I gotta go see about my arm. See,
Okay.
get something on my shoulder.
All right, well, it's going to all be typed up in the report, all right? And then tomorrow, talk to the prosecutor and see what she says.
You're probably the only good cop on the force.
I'm not trying to be a bad cop. I was literally not trying to even have any of this happen, and I did
Still,
apologize.
You apologize, but you're following his directives.
He's a sergeant,
Yeah, but
sir.
still, like you swore oath to the Constitution,
Right.
and you know what's right and wrong. And sometimes you got to stand up to people. And
Listen,
say, no.
when asked for your information, you
I
have
didn't
to
commit a
identify
crime.
yourself. At this point, we're on a traffic stop together
But you
now.
still have to.
A traffic stop is not a crime.
And I asked him, am I being detained? And
Okay.
nobody answered that.
Listen,
So I did it. I covered all my bases.
all the stuff's going to be typed in the report,
If
all
I was
right?
being detained, I had no choice but to give you my ID. That's why I specifically asked.
Yeah.
Am I being detained?
Well, at that point,
And
it's
if
a
I'm
traffic stop.
But still, if I'm being detained, you should tell me. And if I'm not being detained,
Yeah.
I'm free to go. And
Right.
it's in a situation.
Well,
where I
right
have-
now, you're free to go.
Yeah. So
All right? I hope that you feel better, and I'm sorry that all this had to happen this way.
you didn't do nothing.
Well, we did. We got into a little accident, almost a middle
You
accident.
did your job.
And I
Things
apologize.
happen in life. He came. He violated my rights.
Well, we're going to work through it, all right? I don't think he violated your rights. He wanted you to identify yourself, and you didn't. All right?
You know you swore oath.
Say again.
You swore oath.
I did. I did.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, Mr. Kern.
Thank you.
I hope that you feel better, all
I'm
right?
going to the hospital.
All right. You going to go to Metro?
I'm going right there.
Yes, sir.
A shocking turn of events in Cleveland Heights. The case against Mr. Kern was dismissed after 11 days, proving that the obstruction charge was entirely baseless. But the story doesn't end there. Sergeant Wolf may have led the wrongful detainment, but Officer Lewis wasn't off the hook. With inconsistent statements and her failure to uphold Mr. Kern's rights, she was ultimately fired from the force. The key takeaway: after a wave of public outrage and an internal review, the police department had no choice. The reasons: lack of integrity and her role in a grossly mishandled traffic stop, an incident that further eroded trust in the system. What's your take on this incident? Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more gripping police cam stories. Click here to watch the next video now.